Hey guys, welcome back to another video in our basic intro to calculus series. Today we're going to be taking a look at the power rule. So what is the power rule? The power rule is a formula that lets us quickly find the derivative of the form x to the power of n. And the rule stipulates here, it just stipulates that the derivative of x raised to the n is equal to that power, now as a coefficient, times the value of x raised to 1 minus that original power. So basically, I like to think of it as you're taking this power, dragging it down to be the coefficient, and then subtracting 1 from the power. So let's take a look at a couple of examples here. First, we have the function f of x is equal to x cubed plus x squared. The derivative of this function using the power rule, we're going to drag this 3 down to be the coefficient, as you see here. Then we're going to subtract 1 from that power. We're going to do the same thing to this x squared value. We're going to drag that 2 down to be the coefficient and subtract 1 from that original power. And we're going to just simply evaluate these expressions, 3 minus 1 being 2 and 2 minus 1 being 1. And we're going to omit it because you don't need to write degree 1. It's implicitly assumed. Our second function that we're going to take a look at is f of x is equal to x to the 1/2. Now, one of the things I didn't mention at the beginning is that what is n, right? N is not just an integer. N can be any real number. So with this in mind, we proceed as the rule tells us. Drag this exponent down, let it be the coefficient, as you see here, and then subtract 1 from 1/2, which gives you negative 1 over 2. You're going to simplify this because, well, it's okay to leave it like this, but generally we like to have it as one nice expression without a negative exponent. It's fine, but this just looks a bit cleaner. Our last expression is going to be combining some of the things that we learned overall in terms of just general derivative knowledge. First, the derivative of x. Now, you might know that the derivative of x is just 1, and intuitively it makes sense, right? The rate of change of f of x equals x with respect to x being 1 is not a big surprise, right? If you change x by a tiny bit, f of x changes by the exact same tiny bit. So they're directly correlated. But if you use the power rule here, you can imagine that this is really just to the first power, right? And you're dragging that 1 down here. It's 1x, and then you're subtracting 1 from 1, which is 0. So that's 1 times 1, which is 1. So you see here, the intuitive understanding also gets reflected here by the math. The derivative of a constant is 0, so we don't have it here. And then here we have plus x to the negative 6. Again, like we said, you drag that negative 6 down here to be the coefficient of the x term. And then you subtract 1 from the power. So negative 6, remember it's a negative, so you have to subtract 1. It's not negative 5, it's going to become negative 7. And we're cleaning it up a little bit. Again, I don't like that negative exponent, but it's completely fine to leave it there. You get this expression. Alright, I hope that helped you get a basic understanding of what the power rule is. That's all from me for this episode of CAS Tutors. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Alright, thank you.